Welcome to Baz Travels. After driving 14,826 kilometers through 24 states and Washington, D.C., I've seen rocket launches to the Grand Canyon and Hoover Dam. I've explored Route 66, ghost towns, deserts, snow, and beaches on both coasts. From Vegas casinos to Alcatraz, the White House to Hollywood. Join me for a journey of the ordinary and the extraordinary.
Loading destination. Simulation starting in 3, 2, 1. To look around, move your phone or tablet. Click and drag if on a computer or move your head if using a VR headset. Please like and subscribe.
This section begins in the Armory, where weapons used in and around Dodge City are displayed. Firearms were common tools on the frontier, but they were not carried casually. Most people owned guns for practical reasons: hunting, livestock protection, pest control, and personal safety while traveling long distances. Rifles and shotguns were especially important for securing food and defending property. Revolvers were useful because they were portable, but they were expensive and required regular maintenance. Ammunition was also costly, which discouraged careless use. For many residents, a firearm represented investment rather than status. It was something to be looked after, repaired, and used responsibly. The exhibit shows how technology developed over time. Early weapons were slow to reload and unreliable. Later models improved firing speed, accuracy, and durability. These changes affected how people approach conflict and self-defense. Despite popular images, most disputes did not involve gunfire. Fights were more likely to involve fists, knives, or improvised weapons. Firearms were used primarily as deterrents. Their presence encouraged caution rather than constant violence. Law enforcement relied on that balance. Officers were often outnumbered and under-equipped. They depended on personal authority, local knowledge, and community cooperation. Carrying a weapon did not guarantee control. Reputation mattered more. Lawmen who were fair and consistent earned compliance. Those who acted recklessly lost trust quickly. The criminal population of Dodge City was smaller than legend suggests. Most offences involved theft, fraud, gambling disputes, and public disorder. Organised gangs were rare. Persistent criminals were usually driven out by business owners and authorities. Economic pressure encouraged conformity. A town built on trade and transport could not tolerate ongoing disruption. People who threatened stability were isolated or forced to leave. The exhibit also highlights how some individuals became famous. A small number of gunfighters and lawmen were elevated by newspapers and later writers. Their stories were repeated, simplified, and exaggerated. Over time, they overshadowed thousands of ordinary residents. This selective memory distorts public perception. It creates the impression of constant danger, when in reality most people avoided confrontation wherever possible. Weapons were tools, lawmen were managers. Criminals were usually short-term problems, not permanent fixtures. This section shows how order was maintained through cooperation, economic incentives, and informal regulation rather than through endless violence. It explains how Dodge City functioned as a working community despite difficult conditions.
Simulation terminated. Please comment, like and subscribe.